Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today I want to show you a quilt that I made in 2002. This was the year that I bought my long arm machine, so the quilting isn't the best on it, but it is a special quilt because the blocks were given to me by my mother-in-law. So I want to show you some details on this quilt and show you all the quilting that I did on it when I was a new long arm quilter. Okay, here is an overview of my butterfly handkerchief quilt, and I'll give you some more details about this here in just a few minutes. First, I want to kind of preface this with the fact that this quilt I made in 2002, which is the year that I bought my long arm machine. So I did quilt this on the long arm, but my quilting skills were not at their best, but I still enjoyed this, and it is a special quilt because of the blocks that were made by my mother-in-law. Now this was a big trend in the area we were living at the time, and my mother-in-law belonged to a quilt club, and she had a lot of friends that were making the same quilt, or making quilts with these same blocks. They were making these handkerchief blocks, butterflies, and making quilts out of them. So this is the layout that I decided on, and so let me show you some details on this quilt. Okay, here is one of the prettiest blocks, I think. They're all pretty, but this one was kind of a scalloped edge handkerchief that they turned into this butterfly. And what they would do is they would cut the handkerchief in half on the diagonal, and then they would fold it to make the wings of the butterfly, and then this part would be the body. And then they would do a little embroidery at the top for the head and the antennae. Now in the background quilting, I just did a meander. And my long arm machine, when I bought it, it did not have a stitch regulator, so I was having to manage the stitch length on my own manually. So look at this sashing here. Let me turn around here. It's kind of upside down, but let me see, let me get it in a good spot. Okay, here we go. I used a white thread on this dark green fabric, and I did a flower with some leaves on a stem, flower in the center, more leaves, and another flower on the end. But my stitch lengths are not consistent because there was no regulator on the machine, so I actually don't think that's too bad for being my first year of owning that machine and not having a stitch regulator, and being so bold as to use a white thread on a dark green background. Now the cornerstones, I just did a cross hatch in those. Now let me show you more of the handkerchief butterflies. Here's a purple one. I think is really pretty. And this type of quilt was so popular that it was really getting hard to find handkerchiefs anymore. People had used all of them that they had and started going to flea markets and antique shops and buying them up, and then it got to the point where they just weren't available anymore. And here is another purple one. It's a different pattern than that other purple one. This one had a purple edging on it, and you can see the hand applique stitches on there that my mother-in-law put on there to secure that handkerchief into the block. And you notice there's no quilting other than right along this part, which is where the handkerchief was folded. And that is what everybody was wanting, and I did the same thing in my quilt. And this batting is polyester batting. It's a high loft polyester. And And there's more of those sashings. And I can tell you my meander quilting looks a lot different these days than what this is. It's a tighter, it's closer together, and it's more uniform. So that's what practice does. Okay, here is a golden, kind of a russet color, but it's another pretty one. And when I laid out these blocks, I kind of alternated them. Let me back up so we can see this a little better. Okay, see where which way the butterflies are pointing. Like this one here is pointing to the right, this one's pointing to the left, and the one next to it's pointing to the right. And they're all pointing up so that I know which is the top of the quilt and which is the bottom. I want to show you this green handkerchief. This one had some eyelet type work on it. Right, these are all like eyelets here. Some fancy stitching. And you can see the shadow of how this was folded. There was just a little bit of it folded under where this darker shades are here and here. That may be because it was a smaller handkerchief, or I don't know. The others I can't remember, but I think they're all pretty much the same. This one down here I can feel right here. You can even kind of see that. This is where the fold is on this side. It's a little bit wider down here. I can feel it underneath here. But it's narrow at the top, and then it gets wider as it goes down. So I think you could probably Google butterfly handkerchief quilt blocks and you will find instructions on how to do these. Now this one had a crochet edge, which is very pretty. The purple that kind of matches the purple flowers in there. You know, and you could do these with fabric. You don't have to do them with handkerchiefs. Just to find a print fabric you like, and you can make these butterflies. Now this one is a plumeria. It has the name of the flower on it, which is this looks like actually a Hawaiian. I bet this is from Hawaii somewhere. There's yeah, this is Maui right here. I can't read this. Kahulawai. Kahulawai. Here's a ginger plant. And this says islands, I think. So I think it's Hawaiian Islands. And Mauna Loa. And it's got the elevation 13,675 feet. So that is the volcano, I think. And plumeria is a, I don't know if that's their state flower. I think it might be, but that's what that is. My oldest daughter lived on Hawaii for 4 years, so we went and visited her a couple of times, so I'm a little bit familiar with some of those kinds of things. And here's a sweet little blue one. Now this one has a stain on it that's been there from the beginning. And it's had a nice little blue edge on that handkerchief. And then here's a pink and purple one with some green. And this is just a stripe on there. But it does have like a pink corded edge on there. And let me go around and show you the last one. Here's another pretty purple one. There's purple in quite a few of these blocks, which is why I decided to do the green and the purple in this quilt. These aren't really my colors per se, but I think it went real well with this quilt. So these are little pink or purple blossoms, and this handkerchief had a scalloped edge on it. I'm wanting to say this is a hydrangea, but I don't know that that's correct. It could be, what am I thinking of? You know, write in the notes what you think this flower is. I can't think of the name of the flower, but I think this is real pretty. Okay, I wanted to show you this purple border. Okay, I did a feather in this border. It is not good at all. Let's see if I can get to where you can see it better. But, you know, it was my first year with the machine, and I was determined I was going to figure out how to do feathers. So I was following all kinds of instructions. I took classes. Was never happy with them. But I did figure it out eventually. I just took classes and I bought books and finally figured it out. I just struggled and struggled and struggled with it, but I was determined to figure it out, and I eventually did. Okay, here you can see the border a little bit better. This is down, hanging off the end of my bed. You can see it through the slats of the footboard there. So you can see the feathers don't go all the way to the edge of that border, which is what I normally do with my feathers, or at least get real close to them. But that didn't work on here. Okay, I pulled this up so we can look a little bit at this. Now this is a butterfly print fabric that I had or found. And what I did is I went and outlined some of these butterflies. In fact, I think I did almost all of them. Outlined them and then did a stipple in the background. So they kind of puff up almost like a trapunto. So that's what I did with those. Now this one I did not outline. But what I think what I did is you can see these butterflies, some are on top of the others, like this one's on top of this butterfly. So I outlined this one. And then here I outlined this one and the rest of that one. This one's outlined, this one's outlined, and this one's outlined. So I kind of picked and chose which ones I wanted to outline, like this one, but this one is stippled over. So I think it made it interesting, gave it a little dimension. And then on this outer border, this is a pantograph with a butterfly, and like this butterfly is facing this way, and then the one next to it is facing up, so it just alternates. Let's see if we can see this on the back a little better. Yeah, you can see that a little bit better here. Okay, here's one butterfly here, and it goes into this one. These two actually are facing the same direction, so I think maybe, oh, they're all facing the same direction. Okay, all these butterflies are facing the same direction. I thought they were alternating, but they're not. So this was a pantograph that I had bought. And that's how I was doing my borders. I wasn't doing much freehand at that point. I was using pantographs, which is what I was taught in the classes that I took, is this is how you do borders. You get a pantograph and you use it on your borders. But I found out that there's other ways to do your borders. So lots of different ways to quilt. And here you can see a little bit more of the work. Like here is a butterfly you can see here, and then here's some stippling. And like here's another butterfly, and there's one up here. And let's see if we can see the really bad feather. Here we go. This is the really bad feather. I did kind of a curve, very shallow curve. But see, normally I would bring my feathers out to here. But these are the kind of the loop method. You kind of do this, where I do the over the top feathers, where they would kind of come like this, and then I go back around, and then I go like this and out and around. Makes a prettier feather. I know people do this method, make very pretty feathers, but it doesn't work for me. I have to do the bump back or the over the top feathers, and then I just kind of did like a figure 8 there in the center. So this feather comes this direction, and then this one comes this direction. This is kind of the middle of the border there. And then here's a look at the sashing. You can see the flower at the end, the feathers, flower at the center, or leaves, more leaves, and another flower at the end. And then I did the crosshatch and the cornerstone. And then here is the back of one of the blocks. You can see the butterfly there, and then just the stippling, the meander quilting in the background. And I do have a label on this one. Last week's I did not have a label on it. And this was Handkerchief Butterflies, the blocks by Betty Loftin. That's my mother-in-law. And then pieced and quilted by me. And you see here I have, just notice this, I didn't take out, I had basting stitches that was holding the quilt to the top of my quilting machine, and I did not take those basting stitches out. They're still in there. Now the border, the binding, this is the same butterfly print as this, only in a different colorway. It has a black background, so it gives it a little bit of a different look. You can see it here. So this is my butterfly quilt. Now my mother-in-law made one of these for each of her daughter-in-laws, and she made actually the entire quilt for the other 3 daughter-in-laws. There are 4 of us. And I think I quilted all of them for her, if I remember correctly. So everybody got a butterfly quilt, and they're all different. And mine was purple and green, and the others were just different colors. It depended on the handkerchiefs and the fabric that my mother-in-law had handy. And she handed me these blocks and told me to finish the quilt myself, so I did. Because she knew I was a quilter and would enjoy doing that. So I really appreciate it, and it's a very special quilt, so we take good care of it. Well, I hope you enjoyed having a closer look at my butterfly handkerchief quilt. It's special to me because those blocks were made by my mother-in-law, and it's one that we have used on our bed in the past. I've had it wrapped up and stored for quite a few years now, but I do bring it out every once in a while and make sure that it's still okay and freshen it up, and sometimes use it for a day or 2 and then store it back again. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links, and to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.